So because it's inconsequential, the company rents my donkey, understandably, and he puts his trust in the message on that. That's inconsequential. Vis-a-vis the rest of the rental, and therefore the rental fee is less on one side. So if you want to ask on this right, if you done what is this careful in this done from a non-native action. If ultimately again I will say right
What up, Mr. Aquarius? What's good, girl?
If there's food readily available along the journey, then ultimately you're going to watch
Right, well, I got the best napping spot in the world. That's right.
You're able to get the more leg of the journey.
That's right.
So far, a lot of our music on this bunch of that's part of the go through the trouble. Renter, that's not the expectation. Therefore, the renter is committed to take all the food ultimately, and the driver himself is the amount of food that he needs to get from one leg of the journey to the second journey. The father of Rabbi the son of Rabbi right, the father of Rabbi the son of so Ika she was pouring on 65. So ultimately, he thought was a wise. So again, this is more. So he's someone wanted to the yeah, como que Javier Joan, you can go Javier smokes in. So normally again, when it's also some okay, I mean, not the ego will be the shot. So it's got all the funnels. You start about hand. Bad, mashing stacking there. Ego office is roof. Fish and luck. Where's the ego? But ego. So what he do is he would put and think his mind, his balance into the outcomes of his skill. Okay. So you might have a seven or come up with him. But also my other rule macro. Enjoy late goof shapes get so ultimately again, based on the way you're reading it down, so you take the one across the river, give it to them. And ultimately, again, you would keep the barrels as part of the again, that was it. So the wine stream transported by right trans, and you would get to keep the barrels. Also, I'm going to realize the human from the Baptist practice of the I'm not there. Sweet kaka, that's the kaka. What's the problem? Now, the pastors with the problem is remember, once that wine is poured into the wine skins platform, it becomes whatever I mean, they're bothered by this because isn't ultimately again the people who wants to continue existence ultimately against the INS which about says it's not a problem when when the is dealing with it, ultimately again it's still mutter. I must do lots of big humo. So on this to oh so even though he's pouring one estimate, things across the grid. So ultimately he doesn't want the Weinstein. Weinstein is going to be in trouble. So he wants to continue the existence of the Weinstein. The Masni bad guy. He made a condition, right? The condition ultimately again. The condition ultimately again was that Allah breaks its own. He has no responsibility. You know, I mean, the Maisu beside people, or they brought it back up in times as the oil that he was pouring out, he'd have a backup. Oh, come on, I don't know, that's our piece. 1 second, don't even come now because that is point lines, that's point of plus. Isn't there a problem now that he's helping transportation? I'm related to Mahia, he arranged transportation for them even before he actually. Okay, so the arranged transportation was done already beforehand. Therefore, he's not doing anything after the INS. Now you keep the guy or you can make them quickly again. With like mass and the boats with see the boats and to take these guys. Even when part of maybe arranged beforehand. In other words, how did you work out transportation after the wine had been squeezed? Nothing happened. And essentially, he arranged by working out with boatsmen or by giving them like a knotted rope, a wage, a fare, and therefore they were able to get on the boat just with that, but they did not have to be involved. All right, there's a lot of good actually something else. It says in the INS should have down. Those are great. So what's up? You can just wash them off and you the grapes on the balls. So you have some of the wine crevices. Ultimately, again, it's going to be enough of that. So ultimately, the INS fell on figs or niche one benos the rain refuses to the pigs. Ultimately, again, it is going to be shaving grows is being grown. So actually check out the logos are dry dates. Dry figs. Dry figs. What happened? In the Shabbat, the club is Shayang. That's another boat. There's about enough of that they have. Or on the dry. Shalom, come in the ass. Come set the car. Zach, Bob, Kosher behind us when those things happen. Anytime that confuses peace, ultimately again it's going to be problematic. Anytime the idea do not confuse taste, ultimately again it'll be what's the example of when something is going to call something that it doesn't Keep going. Pommes, Schnafa agave grease. Ultimately, again, like vinegar that falls onto split cooked lentils. Okay? And again, that is not featured in any kind of grease. Okay, this is my sense. I understand. My solicitor, the story is then zoning to contradict that part like before, right? Again, right? Again, the Mishnah said that if one fell on Indian or small, right? Therefore, again, it's flavor. It's also doesn't flavor small. Then it says the sort of right is continuing. So you try things. Okay. I'm just reading that the wine do not need it. So there's vodka honey. And you also come down to water. But the mission is when you're doing wine that pours over usually the wine used if it is detrimental, then ultimately again it's mutter. And then the nice young the Vitus country, so the Vitus country, maybe global was the scene of the shot probably so young. Second enough out that band. It was a little obvious right that happened. One of the Vitus country was taking dried figs on a barrel of 9 SF broke on spilled over the body, bought myself and ultimately again the Chacham said that it's mutter. The Chacham said mutter, so ultimately again what's the logical there? So how come tell that in this particular case, the Yayin Nessa, with the global is what we've seen from the conceit, it infuses detrimental flavor, and therefore what I said is no kind of people do not violate like this in the Yayin Nessa. The Rabban is a boom of the and Yayin Nessa fell on the roof. Or on the roof, broke, right? Because broke wheat, and Rabban permitted to sell the wheat to an Akron. To a non-Jew, okay, you can't sell to a Jew, but you can sell to a non-Jew. Okay? We'll give us 1 second. Ace did that about the Rabban. So now about the raised the shine. That gets the line, but it's only going to be but well, yeah, that's an American commerce. Listen to this. Very let's say it's a linen. And there's one lost track where the word so what's that? Oh, what's the law? Like, in other words, your concern on is sharpness. So what's this? So what's the law? Oh, I love this. Right, you don't know where the wolf thread is. So the Gemara says you're not allowed to sell that in every contract. You can't sell now. Why can't you sell to Rashi? She says, what are you concerned about? You're going to sell to an apple, and Apple is going to turn around and sell it to a Jew. You know, not with anyone listening to him, but he's going to resell it. You might have well, I jumped ahead. So what that's what you can't use the sell to it also be benefiting. This, I'm sorry, about also Capricorn is you can make it, you can use it for burial shrouds for a since a mace. That's what I'm therefore, it's okay. Burial shrouds are sharpness. So people are like, why can't you sell lost food? Us as a whole is we're free. Maybe sell to you. Oh, how can I be? Us as a release ultimately again, shouldn't we be concerned over the same thing if you have this pile of food and the INS how can you sell it for an Other Charlie, família organizada salão de senhores. Ultimately, again, after Robert Chuck, right, Robert Chuck or Robert said, you can make it into bread, you can sell it to an platform, not in the president. So it's essentially, you can sell it as long as America knows these still, because he saw these having masculine or having others that you reality for something, so happy to see some of them. The time this is a very user and what's routines in style, see you selling a loaf or driving. Small, single smoke must be small. Realizing that salting after open again, as long as there are no. Now, why don't you send that? You sell it well. So remember, that's Hassan. So remember again, bread from an apple has its own set of halachos and its own set of halachos. We'll stop over here for today. Everyone, this was to go for all of you. I'm going to show this beautiful place. Was a great spot for some video return. For this thing. Our annual conference this year is a Swiss for the service levels for Andes. So, I'm the sponsorship the month of Av, raising honor of your parents. Please love raising and new roses writing memory of standing roses rising on the rock. Or we could learn sponsors both. Shalom, then the versions on the rubber need that have memory of Father Ben Adler, Robert Mordecai, Ben Moreno Ramos. Film response today. Cherry Applebaum, memory of his beloved mother Rosen, Ross, last. Almost need allow the soldiers to be successful forward. That is Senate Tower 64. Really incredible document. Today we are picking up on the days 63B and we are 4, 6, 7 lines up from the bottom. This is not need to use up the copies. And not need to that's what we hear about Amiga. And here by Ami, the city with them. And you must just it. Yes, listen to the fascinating question. Suffer Mishpar Yayi Nessa. What is the law if a victim hires a Jew to smash the barrels of Yayi Nessa? Right? So if the residents often come over to Ruben, I'm going to pay you $50 an hour. Do favor, smash these barrels of the iron. Mahu, what is the halacha? Is the Jew allowed to receive, to accept, to keep the wages from this law? Well, it's another again. In yesterday's daf, we read with the concept of funds or income that is traded from what may not be permitted to do, or dealing with items that themselves can be survived. Here, the uncle is asked to do something with the INSF, but he's asking me to destroy the INSF. He's going to pay me for it. So am I allowed to keep those proceeds? The Gemara says, what's the law of Mia? Also, this is very interesting. On one hand, I want the existence of the INS. Now, why do I want to exist the INS? Because the barrels would break on their own. I would lose the opportunity to break them, and I lose their prognosis. On one hand, interesting, I want the existence of the INS. Because I want it, therefore, maybe that's the choice. And you have the Kiva. He learns that from the bottom of Rashi. The Yisrael there, no tzibik to live on your side. You actually want the existence of the barrels. Shalom Yishtabu, I don't know, Ruben doesn't want them to break on me. Actually, Shavu, he does not. And since the Jew actually wants, and this is interesting to think about, right? The Jew actually wants the Yain main existence. I don't want it to break on its own. So therefore, maybe that's considered use from the Yain. And there again, it's awesome. On the other hand, oh, the Allah, holy, you say, if lush that is a hand, this is the instruction of the Yain. Yes, instruction of Allah is this is a good thing. This is a good thing. Sure, this thing, but again, ultimately, to describe all this is a good thing, and therefore the proceeds ultimately again should be fascinating child. Oh no, nothing. So Nachman says, Yishbaka. Nachman says, no, good job, choose, take the job, get the money, and tell a bracha. You have the opportunity to go and people do that about startup, and that is a good thing. Take the money and go. So you must let me see. Let's bring it to let's say an apple plants my clients forbidden wheat. We had such just 2 days ago. Wheat and let's say example wheat and grape. That's the kind of forbidden mixture. So if an every Kohanim is planting, I as a Jew can't go ahead and assist him in like home. You know, you can't 64. What can I do? Uproot. Right? I can uproot that I am allowed to do. Let's say Akim hires me and he says, do me a favor, I tried to fly. Now again, he's asking me to plant everything. But let's say again, he asks me to uproot it. I am allowed to do that. I'm going to get paid for working with Shirai, right? And I want existence of the Shirai because if the Shirai is going to uproot it on their own, and he's not going to find us. So the Gemara says. So the peer from here, this is the Matthew says you are allowed to go ahead and benefit from a item when that benefit ultimately again results in the destruction. Even though you by definition want to continue existence of the prohibited item because you want to be the one who destroys it, so you get paid for it as opposed to being destroyed. So, second one. Das nur auch aus der Summer and the kind of the lion locus general. Not only is there a prohibition to transfer, not only is there a prohibition to facilitate growth building, but you can do anything that sustains. So for example, actually over here, so let's say someone else comes with the lion, right? African lion, African asks you to put up a fence around the and the Akiva says also, why? Because the act of putting up a fence, by definition, is part of the sustainment of the even though putting up the fence has nothing to do with the actual plant itself. Never it is going to be different from the Akiva. I'm not means eating, the fact that means to use the look at you get about respect because the act of being directly participating in the plan of the Kiva says after the time that the Kiva says even to sustain the put up the fence around the Kivayan, that's going to be problematic as well. So this is my time to be where is the key to get that? Such it says, do not put the line in your field. I know the prohibition of planting. How do I know that I'm not even allowed to do something to growth itself, like even like putting up the fence? I'm a low kill line. Alright, so let's say so it's interesting over here. You are making a little bit of play on words. A little bit of words. So again, immerse actually kind of slicing the house like low kill line. Anything that ultimately enables the existence of the value, even if it's not directly involved with the actual plant itself, but just something that sustains it, that's going to be acceptable. Imar says, the mutate gets less sharp. But also, interestingly enough, even according to the Kiva, the prohibition ultimately is the same as sustaining. What about if somebody's willing to pay me to uproot the so the pashtos, it sounds like that is going to be totally prohibited. The Gemara says, not necessarily. No, it doesn't have to be that thing of Rabbi Haman. Who's the thing? Is this Rabban? Rabbanan. Rabbanan might be open to really nice. No, that's not true. According to the Rabbanan, this is not offense. Because the Rabbanan, only Rabbi Akiva, Rabbanan hold nothing you can do with planting to plant it, or actively do something that facilitates the growth of the plant itself, like supporting that community. Like putting up a fence, they hold is mutter. So if putting up a fence is mutter, you can get paid for that, then still then you can get paid for uprooting the plant itself. So you're not going to do that. To which the Gemara says, how from that, two numbers very interesting. What's the piece? So we are the Ka'avid Defeat. Oh, interesting. Ultimately, again, I am uprooting the Kilayim for free. Yaakov asked me to do it, and I'm doing it for free. So what's the problem? Watch this. You must see now. Ultimately, that is because of the opinion that Allah you are not allowed to do a favor for him. Like we actually had some meaning about this. Our Lord name is what most of our name is. Like this compliment and don't give but you just said, don't give up this kill for free. You can't do something you can't ask them for free. Even if the free favors destruction of all this error, you still can't do it, which you might have Yehuda, Nishma Rabbi Akiva, Ra. The fact that you're sending suffering from Yehuda, so according to Rabbi Akiva, it's not permitted. Rabbi Yehuda, Ashan Maknasina, Rabbi Ude Tifla, Shakir. Remember, no, according to Rabbi Yehuda says it's true. You can't do a favor, so you can do a free gift. You can't do a favor for but to do something to uproot about Zara, that's absolutely that's of objective benefit. I am Rabbi Kiva Nami. Abba Rabbi Kiva line look, yeah? You take Tifla Shapir. You say something hard Rabbi Kiva. Even though Rabbi Kiva was a more expansive, approach to the position of the line. They're not making that planted. Not only making everything go planting itself. People put up people would agree to uproot the line to get rid of Isser, to get everything prohibited, is absolutely to make can get paid for that from the applicant. It says so low easy. There is no to go ahead and discuss this phrase is so immediate. This is like the Talmudic equivalent of a night class. That's it, we're done. We're done. There's nothing more to discuss now. So also it's very interesting. Because therefore what this means is ultimately now let's go full circle. How did we start this whole started with the case of an Akum wants to break the barrels of Yann. He asked me, he wants to hire me in June to go to break the June to pay me $50 a barrel. Great, am I allowed to do it or not? So remember, on one hand, you could say no, because therefore that means I want to continue the existence of the Yann. I'm just trying to but Nassim said, do it and cover Allah. If it involves the destruction of a result, or for that matter, a prohibited item, even though, yes, I do want the continued existence of the INS. I get it. I don't want to break it. I want to break it. I don't like to be uprooted on its own. But nevertheless, I am permitted to go ahead and do these activities. It is a good thing. As the national says, you get paid. And I must say, it really is such an interesting idea. Because, kind of like part of Western society, the mindset is, like live and let live. And that is important as members of society, just in general, in society, we should approach living it. Yes, not it's not that with the nor is place to stand in judgment of everyone else's lifestyle choices or everything else. Really let that's we shouldn't forget about socialism in society. At the other hand, it's also teach this idea that evil shouldn't be allowed to root within our world. And when there's something that is evil, it has to be uprooted. With something that is evil, it has to be broken. It has to be smashed. It has to be destroyed. Because if you let evil take root, then it's spread and unfortunately become norm. And it's something very those lines between good and evil, ultimately again, because that's what the American uses the flushing of. Yes, destroy the INS and Tavo Allah Rafa. Because ridding the world of evil, that is Rafa. It's not easy. It's not easy. And it's fraught with incredible challenges. We see this for what you think about. It's such a incredible thing. If you think about what the nation of Israel is rooting out evil. And think that like the world would just line up, applause, right? Just clap because we're doing the world's dirty work. And yet it's hard because often the world sees what's evil and what's good, can't see who's right and who's wrong. But Rav tells us sometimes there is a live and sometimes you have to identify evil, you have to break it, you have to smash it, have to destroy it, and once you do it, ultimately the process is different. The process is overwhelming. But ultimately, when you get to the other side of the process, that's when it's real nothing. Incredible. The Gemara goes like that. The Gemara goes like that. Good. Hadri Yasvi, again, the same Chevra was sitting, and they asked about the question, Ras Hadri Yasvi, coming by like, the may so what I said, this is very interesting. What happens if an Akum sells his idol? So Akum sells his idol and I sold it for $1,000. Does that money in the hand of the Akum take on the same identity as the Avodah Zarah itself? Mito says Dana Biadovi on the identity, right? Does it take the idolatry or not? So I'm going to do nothing. So ultimately, you're not going to say, Nothing says, I think it's more that if an Akum sells his and he has that money got retained idolatrous identity, but rather that was just mundane. Now, why? Listen to this. Nothing's proof. There were these people who came up for Rabbi. What happened? Another room. Zero the Islafu, the Suez Skyrus is fascinating. So Nachman says like this. People came up for Rabbi, and what happened? Rabbi Barathu, and they wanted to convert. Rabbi told them, guys, before you convert, here's what you need to do. Sell off all of your idolatry, right? Sell all of your idolatry, and then you have the cash. After you do that, then convert. Now listen and watch this. What's the logic? Over here. Now Rashi says over here, if you look at Rashi, this guy de la Akashin, this guy will also because remember, if they convert and they still own you, then that's idolatry owned by a Jew. Idolatry owned by a Jew, number one, can never be negated, right? Can never have its identity negated. And you can't get enough. So it tells them instead before, while you're still Gentiles, sell it off. You have the money, then you can convert, and the money is permitted. What do you see from there? I see from here that Allah for the someone and sells his idol, that cash is permitted. It says, my time of Yishum the Kasavar, the Naval tree that are in the hands ultimately is permitted. Don't shine us in the heaven that day, Vadai Batot. Maybe that case is different. Why is that different? Because since they're in the process of vision, obviously they're negating the theological significance of the idol they're converting. So it could be mevatel his avodah. Maybe that's why the proceeds are Elami Hafa. Rabbi Gemara says, here's the proof. Yisrael Shayanoshi what we go from Mana. Umachar avodah spoke him the heavy. Listen to this. I lent $100. So what happened? So the Akum went and sold his idol, right? And brought me from the sale. Or Yayin in case I went ahead and I lent Akum $1,000. He sold his Yayin and then he brought me the proceeds of the sale. What's that? Mutter. Ultimately, again, it's mutter. Okay, interesting. Where it says, now, however, it's about hunting Yayin Nesak Vilacha. Let's say the Akum same case, Akum $1,000. Still don't want to repay you. Me here, wait here. I'm going to sell my arrow. I'll be back with the proceeds. So I'm going to sell my Yayin Nesak. I'll be back with the proceeds. In that case, it's awesome. See, interesting. Case number one, same case. I lent $1,000. In case number one, sells his idol, goes off, sells him. I said, I have no idea what he's doing. He brings me the proceeds, pays back the debt. Case number two, I lent him $1,000. He says, I want to pay you back. Give me a couple of hours. I got to sell my idol. I got to sell my Yayin Nesef. He comes back with the proceeds. The proceeds are prohibited to me. So what's the distinction? I don't say what's yours in these two cases. So this is very interesting. So now this is to circle back a little bit previous sugya. Here's the difference. In the second case, where the Akum says, wait here while I sell my or while I go ahead and sell my wine, I want the continuity of the wine. Like, because I want it. So because I want it, therefore, she just posits the proceeds plus. So we just said before that that's mutter. That's mutter. In other words, I will say, when you want the continued existence, but I'm not doing anything to further the yes, of course, I want existence of the title. I want money. I want to continue existence. I want my money, but I'm not doing anything to facilitate the continued existence of these prohibited items. Why should it be us? Gerb, listen to this. Gerb, all the time. She Yarshu Adian over the coast. This is very interesting. You have two brothers. One converted and one. They're both. They're Apple brothers. One converted and one is full of Apple. So brother Ger, brother, what happens? Their father's died. Their father's died. Their father. So they want to split the estate. In the estate, let's say permitted items. So Ger, Loma, Loma, Aka, Loma, and animals. So Ata Yain, that's Planteros. So brother Ger, take to brother Akum. I said, brother Akum, you take all the idolaters, right? You take all the Yain, that's Planteros. You do that, then you should bow, and that's good. However, you should be us. Obviously, only this piece of is that you or obviously once that happens, there's no more recourse, right? But well, there is no see this get happens in the world. Sorry, it's much more complicated. So as long as brother Ger has not yet taken possession of these items, no problem. No problem dividing up. Brother Ger already took possession. So that's almost what do you see? How much on my side now? In this case, brother Ger wants to continue the existence of the idolatry of the Yayin, but he's not doing anything active to promote his continued existence, and therefore it's mutter. So what's the problem? Which is Rava Ba'ula Masnis. What's the case of this Mishnah? This Mishnah is talking about an item like it's made of gold or silver. But even if it breaks, it's still valuable. So therefore, again, brother Ger doesn't actually care if it remains in its whole state or not. Even if it breaks, who cares? It's still has value. Which we must say that's fine. I want us to call me I know that works fine for an idol. How would you explain it then yeah, the Pharaohs had drained. So was it very Adrianic so apparently it actually points out over here Adrianic is where ultimately was very absorbed. Therefore, when you put wine in there, you can take a shard of that earthenware, put it in water, and recast water. In that case, also, Brother Jared doesn't compare because the value is still retained. To which the mercy of the one saying, even if that's so, even if Brother doesn't care about the fact that great, right? But he does care whether or not he can still so he still wants to continue existence. When I talk about Lucia's Hagia, camera, don't bring a riot in this case. You're bringing a riot in the case of the inheritance of Hagia. No, Shiny Lucia's Hagia got killed by rabbis. Rabbis were made by the Lucia's Hagia. In other words, normally, the Gemara says perhaps this case should be problematic. But halacha myself, Chazal will by for the idols is absolutely committed to work this out with his blood. Right, and so you take this, you take the whatever this stuff up. Yes, he wants to continue existence. Why? Why would he go by a year that Zera Shemin Yaksu? We are afraid that this again has to make a choice between his money, his Yerusha, and his religion. He will choose his money and choose his and also, it's not a knock on the dead. In reality, it's before as well. For example, said that it's certain cases step. The truth doesn't always have to return that which is still. The victim should not step back to stolen wine in order to facilitate difficult people to engage in self-sacrifice when it comes to money is necessary. And as much as we say, as long as you have your health, true. As long as you have your health, and you can pay your bills. Right? Because if you don't have money, just things are like this. And many people do not stand up to religious challenges. There's a choice in religion, and we're afraid that the yes, choose between and ultimately again show he's made the tempted to choose again, not because of again, because of so if I don't want to spend in that situation, you have to make a by there. So we say that often in these kind of cases, you don't have to stay with this. City items, therefore allow him to keep them. City items give his Apple brother this measure when is this so? Years of Yerusha. And in the case that the business partnership will be awesome. See from here, Azal allowed certain things to happen in the context of Yerusha that they would not have normal in other contexts as well. because we don't want to put this together in this precarious, incredible. Remember that the other US and prime lines. Remember that all this is the same people sitting together. Another question. Ger kosher not for our. So listen, this is very interesting. Can a ger kosher go ahead and let's say before we go on. This idea that Chazal would go by the ger. Just the tremendousness of that story. Halacha is structured in a way to make us succeed. The Ribono Shel Olam wants us to succeed. And sometimes people have a very skewed view, or a very skewed view of halacha. That God was waiting for us to mess up. Chazal waiting for us to mess up so we can levy some type of punishment against us. That's the key for the truth. The Ribono Shel Olam wants our success more than you want. Chazal wants our and you want us. All of the rules, all the scriptures, all the punishments are only there to put us past the success, not to set us down when we go and we make a mistake. But again, Hashem understood what we really want to be successful. Hashem understood what we really want to be successful. And when they relax the standards to make us success, they do it. It's incredible. They do it. When success is accomplished through relaxing of standards, that's how you do it. You have no greater application in this world. That's in this world than in this world. In this world, Chazal successes. Okay, question. Other years in Kohen Baruch. Dear Tosha, Moshe Baruch. What's very interesting? Can a Ger Tosha? Can a Ger Tosha go ahead and abolish or use idolatry? Remember again, an actual has the ability to negate his idolatry, thereby keeping it from its status of hypocrisy. So again, now we're going to see this method, this method. Rashi points out to the top of the graph, Ger Tosha, Eino but again, he's like an apple in everything else except he doesn't worship. Like, he believes in God, he doesn't worship idolatry. In every other respect, he's a man. Does such a person have the ability to decommission idolatry? Where it says, on one hand, the product without the law product. We say only one who worships idolatry can decommission idolatry. Although a full covering name, the back of the high bar name. And we say like this. If you're in the parsha of an apple, then you can go ahead and be and this guy is in the parsha. It's not Jewish. It's not Jewish. So because it's not Jewish, it's in the parsha of an apple. So because of that, even though Hashem, he himself doesn't worship idolatry, but he has the full to go ahead and negate it. Nachman says, well, only someone who worships it, but someone who doesn't worship idolatry cannot make idolatry. Therefore, the Ger Toshel doesn't have the ability to must Mason, there is a conscious force in social, that's how this one. So, when they had found idolatry in the actually the marketplace, what's that? Well, actually, lost the other. So, what's it? I remember again. So, let's say, listen to this case. I'm going to sitting there on the right? Because in other words, they want to be imparted by you essentially to be decommissioned. So what do? Actually, before I pick it up, over the Kochav and Kumevat, I can call over an apple. Remember, those who call over an apple and see the apple. And you get to this idolatry, decommissioning. Like theological decommissioning. So go ahead and engage in theological decommissioning. It's permitted. However, again, but again, take it out. Take possession of it. At that point, it cannot be decommissioned. שאומרו, עובד נדנקו עבודות כוכבים ושוכבים. עובד כוכבים נכון, decommission his own עבודה זרה, or the עבודה זרה of his son. They of dawn, they should but he doesn't worship. My of the might what does it mean? What does it mean that after the decommission of the desire, ships that it doesn't but if you want to say that I wasn't talking about happy, then how you should love yourself you already said if you actually decommission his friend. And a lot of the Ovid Kohanim, in my a lot of the Ovid Kohanim, right? Ultimately, again, of the means or action. My what does it mean? A non-word. Oh, who is able to go ahead and decommission both an actual apple and a Gertosha? Now you know, Gertosha. What do you see here? And a Gertosha has the ability to be without. So ultimately, to not to be decommissioned, have all desire. Incredible. Chris says, no. The only able to part easy to eat. Excellent. Rather, will be the only person who can decommission all desire. Actual idol worship the apple. I visit Kamrit, and you shall know the stuff I know. Already said that. And he already said that I commission. It says racial, listen to this. It's two different cases. Racial, Zed. Is that what R? Is that Marcus? Racial is teaching me like this. If you have two apples, right? And both worship God, or both worship, obviously, again, apple one can negate his idol and his friend's idol. And apple two can negate his idol and his friend's idol. Seifa is zealot for all his idols. Oh. The Seifa teaches something different. Let's see one who worships Marcus and one who worships Baal. What's the novelty of you? And actually, worship doesn't worship. So let's say, so really three halachos. Number one, an apple can negate his own idolatry. Good. Number two, Akum can negate his friend's idol if they worship the same idolatry. And halacha number three is that Akum can negate his friend's idolatry even if he worships a different. Incredible. So the Gemara says. But again, no riot at a gear show. Comes to a gear show, we still actually have any gear show, which is a Gentile would repudiate idolatry, can feed to the back level. I'm starting this. That's amazing, man. That's amazing gear. What's a gear show? So what's it? So now we're getting more depth. What is the definition of it? זה כל שקיבלו בפני דימו חביבים שלא לעבוד את some given. Mayor says any action who is accepted of himself in front of three having it's not as being exposed as before. Other than the use some is careful of that. So in this context, not just what it just means that any time an athlete comes in front of a base, and he refuses idolatry, that's a good. That's a good for sure. Good. Say, people are not 7 mitzvot. People are not 7 mitzvot. Okay, and your conscience is any was accepted. So, no apply. That's a good approach. Shutting himself up, the next one. Even over all the crowds, that's either of these definitions satisfy the definition of the approach. What is the approach? זה יהיה אופן לבלוס, ואני כל מיצוס המורס בתורה, חוץ מ-10 לבלוס. What is the Getoshah? The Getoshah is someone ultimately again who eats not supposed to eat the Levis, but he has accepted it for himself the rest of the mitzvahs. Pretty shocking definition. It looks like really my focus out there. David Mayer, he accepted it for himself in front of the reason that's idolatry. Chachamim, he accepted it for himself Shem is Noah. Achirim, he has accepted for himself all of the mitzvahs except the laws of Slati and kosher. Incredible. He did excellent. Yain, Rashi says over there, he saw my nephew. When I go to come to us in the Amma base of Rock, ultimately, again, we put the present wine in for a short amount of time. Not for a longer amount of time because we're concerned that he swap out the juice wine for his own wine. Okay. And this is true even in a city where the majority of the inhabitants are Jews. You could leave it in wine for a short amount of time. Not to the INS, or not to the INS, not because he's repudiated idolatry, right? But we are going to over time for a longer amount of time. We switch his wine to the Jews. Short amount of time is winter, a long amount of time is no. The says, and oil is like this one. What is that? Smoke is a like shemen, nika, it's not possibly one with oil technique. Hello, Yengo, Kishmano. He's not trying to use it like this. That's a lot for my son. Is wine, excuse me, is wine is like this word. Just like his oil is permitted. So to ultimately again is wine. I look at that just a moment. That's one of the ideas. You know what the smell of the sugar and that you look like chaos. But what does it mean that his oil is like excuse me, that his wine is like his oil? It's get enough his oil, you get enough can drink the wine yourself, but ultimately you get enough. It's a shot of dollar ultimately for every other thing. Or what you call it? It's like which must consider Yano Yayo like Mutter Va'amut. Shimon says this wine is like Yayo Nessa, but others say ultimately again that it is Mutter ultimately again for consumption. So let's see plug up here. Pick up a new question. Actually, let's tell you let's finish this again. Telling us what do you see from here? They're telling us we started about by the Republic from we see from here that the apple here is like an apple regarding every other man. Reminding itself ultimately again when we say that it's a apple what is that? Which is the love in the back of a West Coast have a West Coast it doesn't have we're again kind of this whole thing like you're trying to figure out doesn't get gate idolatry. If you ask me definitions idolatry. So now we just got things that in this respect, I get folks that are unique. But other than that, it's like an apple. Doesn't it just as it's acting. You feel actually keeping the gate apples up. So you kind of get those up. You kind of get those up. Which the Gemara says no. No. These seem resourceful about those things. No, it actually means something else. It's actually for shots. What is it for shots? What's it about? The summer shot was just it has this. If you have multiple homes and other to a sport club, you cannot carry from a home to that sport. Some of homes to a sport club with having what it essentially means we collect food from already inhabitants of the futzer. They join together, and that joint food makes it into the domain of one home. There's a concept of only the futzer. That I hope that if you have a Jew who did not join to he could view his lesson Shabbos starting. Forgot to participate in the English. He could yield his right members of the Father. If there is a non-Jewish resident, the halacha is you have to rent his rights. You cannot simply yield his rights, you have to rent his rights. We saw Loma, the Shabbos of the Shop, ultimately, again, if you have these some moments, unfortunately, again, you saw to hostage. So as long as not in the hostage, right? As long as externally, right? And the public to keep shadows. Privacy doesn't keep shadows. But at least in public keep shadows. And what's that? Oh, the doctor shows only specific areas because he needs to essentially yield his rights in the process. Same Shabbos in the Rasul shows, but again, he publicly violates Shabbos, and essentially like an apple, then it's not enough for him yield his rights in the process. So guys, rather, we have to write his rights. They show slow, no signatures in the right? We saw ultimately again has the ability to go ahead and yield his rights, give up his rights, or give over his rights to the other residents. وبقوبة مقابل actions or by Apple ultimately you have to rent. You have to rent. So therefore again the word saying that when you say there was this costing kids on all how was this for example yield his right to give over his rights to the church. On the law, I hereby give over my rights. My rights in the custody, or or my rights are invaded. Ultimately, residents acquired is non-participatory participation in the group. Any justice must be many and full of sources. In general, that we look at again, you need to participate in all of these residents. In general, the LGBTs who did not participate, even on Shabbos, he could yield his rights in the or just simply deep ownership rights, everyone else does. Even if he's a woman, as long as the public comes across as Jewish, ultimately he could yield or he could go and be by Apple, you have to go ahead and acquire his rights. And we saw a woman who's public like but we said before that a bear kosher ultimately again is treated like an apple for all other things we need to be a chutzner with a bear kosher. We are choosing the chutzner want to make it rid of potatoes. They must lend space. They must lend the rights ultimately again of bear kosher. Now whether or not the bear kosher could actually run the beer in the general say, it's about daf, but everyone, what a daf, very successful all of you, and see everyone can go. Right now, and yeah, try to keep and you can use Ethereum, Ethereum, DSC, yeah, you can use all. Let's spot for some tea. All of you this morning because I think all of our sponsors for this morning. Thing. Our annual comic book closing self-embarrassing self dedicating all the German club is the Swiss for the Souls for and the Snow. Council for the month about Stephen Randy raising annual parents, Israel raising, Gina raising, and New Rosenzweig in memory of Stanley Rising. Our week of learning sponsors, Dr. Eddie Faith Wolf, Commissioner of the Yard Sake. Dr. Wolf's father, Cyrus Wolf Shalom, then Steve Hirsch, Nathan and Adler in memory of their father, Ben Adler, Robert Baruch, Mordecai, Ben, sponsors for today, Jerry Applebaum, memory of his beloved mother, Rosie Applebaum, Ruffle, the families in the family, all those leaders who shall get all the use of all of us have to do allow all the soldiers to be successful follow up nicely. Most of that is son of Dallas. Really incredible Josh ahead of us today. We are picking up from Son of Dallas on the base 63B, and we are picking up 2, 4, 6, 7, 1 bottom. This is Rav Nachman So again, Rav Nachman Ula Avinu Bar Papi Yasser is here, but Ami Bar. Here, Bar Ami is sitting with them in mercy. Yosef, have on my wife. He asked the following question. Listen to the fascinating questions. Talk about which brother INSF. What is the halacha if a captain hires a Jew to smash barrels of INSF? Right? So if the comes over to you, then I'm going to pay you $50 an hour. Do me a favor, smash these barrels of INSF. What is the halacha? Is the Jew allowed to receive and to accept the wages from Islam? Remember, again, in yesterday's daf, we were dealing with the concept of funds or income that is generated from what may or may not be permitted activity or dealing with items that themselves may be also value. So here, the uncle is asking to do something with the INSF, he's asking me to destroy INSF. And he's going to take me for it. So I am to keep those proceeds. The Gemara says, what's the halacha? Also, on one hand, I want the existence of the INSF. Now, why do I want the existence of the INSF? The barrels of the grape on their own, I would lose the opportunity. I know, one interesting enough, I want the existence of the INS because I want it. Therefore, again, maybe that makes the proceeds perfect. Look at Rashi just a moment. Near Mitzvah, 3 lines up from the bottom of Rashi. The Israel said, "Lo tikiru shachavil said, Jews want the existence of these barrels. Shalom yishtav Shamay land. I don't have a Reuben doesn't break on their own. Actually, Saturday rule, he tells us. So these say that since the Jew actually was, and this is interesting to think about this, right? Like the Jew actually was the Yayin Nesach to remain in existence. I don't. So therefore, maybe it's considered to be proceeds from Yayin Nesach, and therefore, again, it's us. On the other hand, this is the INS construction of a this is a good thing. This is a good thing. Short about some existence, but again, ultimately, to describe all the results, ultimately, again, should be in a fascinating channel. I'm not. So Nachman says, Yishvar B'Kol HaMamlacha. Nachman says, take the job, truly take the job, get the money, and tell a bracha you should be blessed. You have the opportunity to go and root out that on Zara. That is a good thing. Take the money and go. So you must limit the evidence. Let's bring the proof to this idea. So the cheater on that. Ain't ocean in the object from the wheat and let's say example wheat and grape. So if I, the Jew, can't go ahead and assist. Oh, you know, you can't do that. Happens 64 hours. So what can I do? I can uproot, right? I can uproot that I am allowed to do. of the load to the kilo let's say Apple hires listen, sober. Give me a time. But he asks me to uproot it. I'm allowed to do that even on leave for working with the one the existence of the lion. Because if the guy's not uproots on their own, and he's out in my hand. So the Gemara says, but nothing says you are allowed to go ahead and benefit financially from a forbidden item when benefit ultimately again results in the destruction of the item. Though you by definition want the continued existence of the prohibited item because you want to be the one who destroys it for it. It's not to be destroyed on its own. So there's a similar 64. So grew up on money, who's a baby? And the kind of the lion record is very interesting. People hold it in general. Not only is there a plan to go ahead and facilitate the growth of it, but you can't do anything that sustains them. For example, Rashi points out here, so let's say someone else comes to the line, right? Apple has line, and the Apple asks you to put up a fence around the line. And the Akiva says, also, why? Because the act of putting up a fence, by definition, is part of the steaming of the line. Even though saying that the fence has nothing to do with the actual plant itself, nevertheless, it is going to decide. I'm not meaning. The concept means covering the seeds with the picture. You get out the spectrum again. That's kind of because there you're actually doing because this happens like tiny. Example, put up the fence around the lion, that's many common on the in the field. In the others, canyon. How do I know that I'm not even allowed to do something to sustain the actual growth itself? Like even putting up the fence, I'm a low kill lion. Alright, so let's say so it's interesting that you are making a little bit of a play on words. A little bit of a play on words. So again, you might actually why see the concept low kill. Anything that ultimately again enables you even if it's not directly involved with the actual plant itself, it's just something that sustains the destiny of the mas ultimately interesting, even according to the Kiva. Very according to the Kiva, what about if somebody's going to pay you to uproot? So the question sounds like that is going to be totally interesting. Umar says, no, doesn't feel like rather common. This Rabbanon might be your open and you can be shocking. No, that's not true. According to the Rabbanon, this is Rabbanon. Rabbanon means is Rabbanon only can do that. Rabbanon has nothing he can do plant it or actively do something that facilitates the growth of the plant itself. Some type of like support the plant they hold is looking. So it's putting up a fence in there. If you pay for that, then certainly a thing you can get for uprooting it. So it's not going to be a problem. Which the Gemara says, from a schema, this is very interesting. So here, where ultimately I am uprooting the lion for free. Yaakov asked me to do it, and I'm doing it for free. So let's take it. Marcus, Rabbi Yehuda Amar, King Lahem Maskinan, Rabbi Yehuda is of the opinion that halacha l'maisa you are not a favor for us. Like he actually has the meaning of a halacha. All my folk is what that doesn't mean them. Don't give them a It says don't kill a tree. You can't do something happens for free. Even if the favor is destruction of a Zara, you still can. Now, the fact that you're saying this sounds like they're going to be a key. This is not be permitted. Also, Tifla shocking. Mar says no. Point could be good. And says it's true. You can't do a favor, so to speak, give a free gift. You can't do a favor for an but something to uproot about the Zara, that's actually that's an objective benefit. I keep it nami. I thought of I'm already keep on the kind of line look, yeah. It's law shocking. You say simple point of the key. Going to be key was a more extensive, approach to the prohibition of kilayim. Not only can you not plant it, not only can you not see the actual planting itself, but you can't even put up a fence, sustain it, even on your people with agree to uproot kilayim to get up this is absolutely permitted, and you can get paid for that from the option. Which the Gemara says, so low movie, there is nothing else to go ahead and discuss it. It's great. This phrase, Sulo Midi. This is like the Talmudic equivalent of like a mic drop, the Sulo Midi, we're done. There's nothing more to discuss. So therefore, what this means is ultimately, now let's go full circle. How did this all started by the case of Andra wants to break his vows of Yainesa. He asks me, he wants to hire me, a Jew, to go and break. He's willing to pay me $1,000 a barrel. Great. So am I allowed to do it or not? So remember, on one hand, you could say no, because therefore I want to continue the existence of the Yainesa, and I'm benefiting from a Vodazar. On the other hand, I'm just trying to Vodazar. Instead, do it until if it involves direction of a Zara, or for that matter, I do want the consistency of the INS. I don't want it to break on its own. I want to break it. I don't want this line to be uprooted on its own. I want to uproot it. But nevertheless, I am committed to go get people for them to keep the proceeds like the destruction of people. Zara, the destruction of prohibition, ultimately is a good. It says you get paid and cover I will say there is really such an interesting idea, kind of like part of Western society. And mindset is, like live and let live. And as members of society, just general approach to living. Integrated society, you should take an approach to living with. Yes, it's not our nor is it the place to step in judgments of everyone else's lifestyle choices or everything. Live and let live. That's the thing that has to be our approach. good society. On the other hand, it's also teaching us this idea that evil shouldn't be allowed to take root. And when there's something that is evil, it has to be uprooted. When there's something that is evil, it has to be broken. When there's something that is evil, it has to be smashed. It has to be destroyed. Because if you let evil take root, then it spreads and it becomes the norm. And somebody who's getting evil ultimately again become incredibly good. And that's why they're not going to use this discussion of yes, for the INS and cover above love. Because ridding the world of evil is a bracha. That is a bracha. It's easy. It's not easy. And it's caused incredible challenges. See this for what without such an incredible thing. That you want the nature you would think that like the world would just line up false. Right? Because we're doing the world's dirty. And yet, again, it's hard because often the world can't see what's evil, what's good, and see who's right and who's wrong. But the Matthew tells us sometimes there is a middle way, and sometimes the Matthew says, Ishbar is Kabbalah. Sometimes you have to identify evil, you have to break it, you have to smash it, you have to destroy it. You have to do it. Ultimately, the process is difficult. The process is too long. But ultimately, the start of the process, that's what it's really about. Incredible. More goes back there. The Gemara goes back there. But Hadri Yasvi, so again, the same kind of thing. And they asked about Mas Hadri Yasvi, the may have us from the other. So also, this is very. What happens when Akum sells his items? So Akum sells his idol and he has now sold for $1,000. So does that money in the hands of the Akum the same identity as the Akum itself? Now, Mitofes has done a dialogue. Does it take the identity, right? Does it take on the identity of idolatry or not? So it's very interesting. So ultimately, we're going to not consider. You start with the narrow. It says, I think it's motor. I think it's motor. That if an Akum sells his eye, that money is not retaining idolatrous identity. But rather, that money is just money being with money. Yeah, already. Listen to this. Here's nothing. You can handle is not good. There were these people watching. The Suez Sky. This is fascinating. So that comes like this. There were these people who came up Rabbi. And what happened? And he wanted to convert. God told them, guys, before you convert, here's what you need to do. Sell your idolatry, right? Sell off all of your idolatry, and then you have the cash. After you do that, then and then watch this. What's going on? Now, Rashi says over here, if you look at Rashi, you guys look at the suit. Both these guys are this guy will also look at all this. Because remember, if they convert and still be idolatry, then they have idolatry owned by a Jew. Idolatry owned by a Jew, one can never give, right? Never have this identity. And can't get enough from it. She tells them instead before, while you're still Gentiles, sell a seed from there. Obviously, see from it, if a local way selling, actually sells his idol, that's sale of idolatry. That are in the hands of the ultimately is in the process of conversion. Obviously, if you're an example, maybe that's why the proceeds are not. I don't need the house. I don't need the house. I didn't get it. Listen to this. I lent $1,000. So what? the uncle went and sold his right and brought me the proceeds from the sale, or I went ahead and I lent $1,000. He sold his yayin and he brought me the proceeds of the mutter. Again is mutter. The Gemara says, now, however, watch this. Unless the in the same case, let the $1,000. She's still already pay you. To me, the way here, I'm just going to sell my the closest. Or I'm going to sell my yayin. Yes, I'll be back with the closest. In that case, it's possible. See, here, in case number one, same case, I lent up to $1,000. Case number, he goes off, sells his item, sells his yayin. Yes, I know what he's doing. He brings the proceeds, pays back the debt. Case number two, same thing. I lent him a couple of hours. I got to sell my idol. I got to sell my the proceeds. The proceeds are prohibited. I effectively murder my generation. So what's the distinction? I don't understand what's the distinction. See from you make kilos of it. So this is to circle back a little bit to the previous. So here's the difference. In the second case, here, while I sell my idol, or while I go ahead and sell my wine, I want to continue. I don't want to continue to sell the wine. Why? Because I want to get paid. So because I want it, Shesha's posits the proceeds. What's that again? That's what. In other words, we'll say, but I'm not doing anything to first. I want to continue to exist on that idol until the apple sells money. I want to continue to exist on money. But I'm not doing it to facilitate the continued existence of these prohibited items. Why should it be so? But none, you have all the problem. You have two brothers. One converted. They're both brothers. One converted and one is one out. So brother Ger, brother out. So their father died. Their father died. Not the inheritance their father. So they want us to in the estate is idolatry, and let's say primitive items. So Ger, Yapa, Loma, so Ger, it says to brother home, as a brother, you take all the idolatry stuff. You take all the potatoes. You can do that. Then you should bow, and that's needed. However, then you should bow here. Obviously, all of this presupposes that there has not yet actually read obviously, what happens is no more resources. Like, but well, there is no real receivers. You can get what happens in the hot level, but it's much more complicated. Once it's all the ends, there are really very little. There's no problem providing. However, if whether it's the other possession that is possible, it's the ultimate good, and what do you see from there? Allah reminds me of the existence of the idolatry, of the anything active, what is considered existence, and then it's mutter. Which is Rava Barula, all those what's the case of your nonsense? And I don't know if it's made of even if it breaks, it's still valuable. Actually care if it remains whole sleep or not, even downward. Which we must say that works fine for an idol. Now, how would you include then of Yayu? The Higienic person. So apparently, Rashi points out over here, Higienic thing where ultimately where it's very extreme. So when you put wine in there, the person where it absorbs 1 to 3 degree, if you take a shard of that where put it in water and keep water. In that case, what is there doesn't tasks because in singularly the values to which the rest of the ones are lost to the human soul will show you after 1 second. Even if that's so, even if what is there doesn't care about the fact that it's great, right? But you don't have to still in the lost. So once they continue to exist, on top of just I get a camera, don't bring you're bringing a right, you're bringing a person here. No, Shani Rushas Ager. That may go by the Rusha. In other words, normally, Normally, the Gemara says perhaps this case should be problematic. But halacha b'maisa, Chazal were making by Yerusha. And as long as the ger has not yet actively taken possession by Nesach or the idols, absolutely permitted to work with his brother. Take this, you take this, whatever the stuff, I'll take the stuff. Why? They go by a ger that people are on Zera Shemi Yasu. We are afraid if the ger has to make a choice between his money, his Yerusha, and his religion chooses. And that's not a knock on you. That's reality of the We've seen this before as well. For example, right? This is called a Shah. Chazal said that in certain cases, theft. Thief doesn't always have to return that which the victim should not accept that stolen item. Why? To go ahead and facilitate afraid if the thief has heard everything, you have heard it's difficult for people to engage in self-sacrifice financially. Right? Money is necessary as much as we say, as long as you have your health, it's true. As long as you and you can pay your bills. Because if you don't have money, and people do not stand up to religious challenges, there is a choice between religion that there, yes, between halacha. Okay, again, he's in Yishal, he may be tempted to choose his again, not because of the get discrimination. And some people want to put him in that situation. They may go by it there, and they're often in this kind of case, he has a state that is comprised of permitted items and forbidden items, therefore allowed him to keep the permitted items if his brother all of the incredible. We'll say any days. You know, not the advice that supports this. Imagine when is this so? She solution. To us. But in the case, let's say the business partner will be us. So you see from here, Chazal allowed certain things in the context of Shah that they would not have allowed to occur in other places as well. So you don't want to put the person in this in order to get in this precarious type. Incredible. Remember that. Honey doesn't find out. Remember again, all this is the same people running, sitting together. Another question that came up. Ger Kosha now she back for all this. So we'll say this is very interesting. Ger Kosha. Go ahead. Then we'll say just before we go on. It's a gift that Chazal will make go by the Ger. How is structured in a way to make us succeed. They bono shall olam succeed. Sometimes people have a very skewed view of that his brother is waiting for us to see if they smack us down. Because I was waiting for us to up so we could let these type of punishment or penalty against us. That's a good phrase from the truth. Yeshua wants our success more than love success. Chazal wants us more than we want us. All these scriptures, any law punishments are only to put us on a path success, not to smack us. Then we go ahead and make a mistake. But again, Chazal understood what we need to be successful. And when we relax the standards to make us successful, we do it. First, Chazal do that. No, you have no greater items in the world than that's in this world than in the successes. Question. How do you guys talk about it? What's the very interesting? Can a Tosha go ahead and about gate idolatry? Remember again, an apple, thereby decommissioning its status of theological importance. So Ger Tosha, what is it about the definition of the Ger? Rashi points out that at the top of the daf, Ger Tosha, ultimately, again, he does worship idolatry. But again, he's like Apple and everything else doesn't worship idolatry. It's a very big thing. Right? He believes in that Baruch Hu. In other respect, he's a man. So does such person have the ability to decommission idolatry, to negate idolatry? Whereas, on one hand, what's about the world the only one who worships idolatry can decommission idolatry. Or maybe not. Let me say this. Anyone who's going to tell them, if you're in the parsha of an apple, then you can say, is in the parsha. Not Jewish. So because he's in the parsha of an apple, because of that, even though Baruch Hashem, he himself doesn't worship idolatry, but he has the power to go ahead and negate it. You know, someone who that's not, so there was a number of nothing says, well, only someone who can negate it. So someone who doesn't speak for not negate idolatry. But the Gerto doesn't have the ability to negate idolatry. You must have missed it. That is a question. It's one second. The social, that's a whole mission. Listen to this. So, listen to this case. I'm walking in the shop. I'm walking in my house. I see a gold thing I've acquired it. And once it's acquired by a Jew, essentially, it can't be decommissioned. Kochavim Kumevat, I could call over an apple. Remember the most detective is call over an apple and see if the apple and educate this idolatry. Decommission. But theological decommission. Go ahead and engage in theological decommission of the temple. I don't know if it becomes permitted. However, again, you should also ago from the back. But again, at that point, Ovid Kochavim Mevat Avodas Kochavim Chavera. And Ovid Kochavim Menachon decommission is on Avodah Zarah or the Avodah Zarah of his friend. They of God, they she'inov. Whether he worships it or he doesn't worship it. What does it mean to worship? What does it mean that if you want to say that we're not happening, I use shalom shachari. You already said that. Before that Akum has the ability to feel like his avodah zarah and the avodah zarah of his friend. And a lot of the Ovid Kochavim, my shit is a lot of the Ovid Kochavim, right? Ultimately, again, of the means natural action. And my shit, though, what does it mean? And not word first, they're oh, so who's able to go ahead and do both an actual action? None of there's first of none of that. Already see the mirror, but again, first of has the ability to be with us. Also, if you can not be condition, have only incredible. Rather, will be the only person who can be conditioned. Or is it accurate? I mean, Shalom the Shach. And said that advice is done. You already said that his avodah and his friends avodah. You know, racial is two different cases. Isha is dead. Is that the R? Is that the racial teaching like this? You have two actions. Both worship Al or both worship Marcus. Obviously, again, Akum one idol and his friend's idol can negate his idol and his friend. Seifa Zela Pa'ar Zela. Oh, the Seifa teaching something different. Let's see if one Akum works Marcellus and one who worships Pa'ar. What's the analogy over here? And Akum worship an idolatry even if he doesn't worship. So let's say maybe if you have a husband for it. Good. And Akum negate his idol if they worship the same. And halacha number 3, Akum can negate his friend's idolatry even if incredible. So the Gemara says. Next, but again, no raya about a gear coach. Right? So when it comes to Tosha, we still actually got a Tosha, which is the Gentile, who repudiated idolatry. Can he be Nevada? Now we started it. So basically, there's catch up. Is a gear coach. What's a gear coach? Tosha is people. So now we're getting more definition. What is the definition of the word? Is that kosher kibbutz that can be most reason? Shalom is from the Mir says it's any apple who is accepted of it. Again, I will say, someone's careful with choosing us. Someone's careful about too much time. Any kind of apple comes in front of a face. Idolatry, that's all. Good, that's all I meant. Come say, Seven mitzvot, so also Kiba, Allah, Seven accepted for himself, he said no time. Don't see the power. That's a great culture. Seven is a law, so makes it even only able to follow the actual even saying to the finish. What is a great culture? Social, Zé Guerra ou Palmeiras, Fidel Above Finding Home Mitzvahs Hamuras Katola, what's Mr. Neves? What is the definition of the Social? The Guerra Social, looking again, who eats not the but he has accepted the consult and rest of his acceptance. Pretty shocking. Looks like really much closes out that definition. That we never he accepted upon himself in front of the he accepted upon himself he has accepted all the mitzvot except he's not talking about incredible. The bicycle one, Yaka did excellent. But he would be here to look at our lotteries. The person wanted to get stuff. We can look for a little bit of time. I should say you can wine for a short enough time. But you can't get constant wine for a long time. Now, what are we considering right here? We're considering ultimate color classes is on what I use for name. So I feel like well, not the Roman asset. We're not going to come to us in the Amma base of what more like a nation. So doesn't wine with me for sure. Not for a longer amount of time because we're considering you swap out choose one for his own. Okay. And this is true even in the city of Greece. You could leave with him one for us. Not for a long time, but not necessarily far enough to the area. Because he's repeated idolatry. Right? But the are concerned that over time, for a time, may is one for a certain amount of time. Although the time. Shmano, Yema. Oil is like what is that? Shmano tastes like the Shana, meat, the honey, yain. It's not properly wrong with oil. Oil can mean yain. Hello, yes, Shmano. Interesting, incredible uses of this. And also, when I saw that ultimately, again, is oil. Just like his oil is permitted, so too ultimately, again, is his water. I look at Rashi for just a moment. Rashi, Shmano mi habi es alieno mutebano, Shmano kodu shel Hashem ma'afilotai. Ava b'shtia aser. And what does it mean that his oil was like that? Excuse me. His wine is like his oil. It's the same way that you can get enough from his oil, you can get enough from his water. I can't drink the wine of the Ger Toshav, but ultimately you can get enough from his water. The Shar called Davar ultimately meant for every other thing, Hareyu called Veiko is like he is like an he's like an Jewish Muslim. Shimon Omer, Yeno, Yayin. Va'amulei Mutter. He says his wine is like Yayin. That's again for so she actually calls up the word, and we'll pick up. Actually, let's turn the off. Let's finish. What do you see from there? Turning the off. Shout part by the public comment. You see from your like regarding remind ultimately which the Gemara says, "Love Shemavata Avos Kofanim Ke'avos." That's so fun. It doesn't happen because you're going to try this whole thing outside. Outside, you're trying to figure out how to get this equipment to give a challenge, to allow you to do the mission. So now we just got base. And then in this respect, I get close to the you can give that. And you don't know. Which the Gemara says, no, meeting the show about those. No. Actually, uses the you cannot carry from us right?
Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here, Yucky Duck. First and foremost, you all need to be following Yucky Duck, and you need to be in the Waddle. The Discord is discord/the Waddle, THEWADDLE. Make sure that you're a member. Also, Yucky Duck, you know how we always need to make sure that supporting our hosts, our coaches, and those that support them. Ensure you are supporting 32 Dream. We're going to try to get her to 100,000 followers in 2026. And whether we do it or not, we're going to make an absolute best effort. If you can, send me a follow. I follow everyone back. I'm the easy follow back in the game. I'm Rabbi. You know who I am. I stream my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 300 a year for world peace. I've been doing so for more than 4 years. My streams go back to the pandemic. We've seen the death of a queen, the birth of AI, the coronation of a king, and everything in between. This is a real life Truman Show, a real life Big Brother. This is a timeline and a time capsule of human achievement. In the 1990s, Bill Gates coined the phrase, content is king, and I'm making it true today. Internet. This is the biggest event in history, and here's why. In 2018, The Economist magazine stated that data had overtaken petroleum as Earth's number one resource, and I have more data archived than any person ever, which is making me very influential. I'm going viral. When I do, I want to make you, your friends, your family, all financially independent if you're not. I want to ensure that you have generational wealth if you don't already, and I want you to be able to start charities and philanthropies of your own. I'm unlike any influencer ever going to meet. I'm not live on one YouTube streams. I'm live on over 20 simultaneous YouTube streams 24 hours a day. You can view my life in 360 degrees. I even have a ceiling camera. If you want to view my YouTube streams, they're my profile. Additionally, you'll find a link in my pinned post. You'll also find in my pinned post a link to my link tree. Nobody dares you to look at that link tree, but I do, because I have more social media than any person ever. I have more content than any person ever. You'll also find a link to my Discord, discord.me/rabbi. We have over 2,700 people in the community and continue to grow each day. In addition to making you all extremely wealthy and wanting to promote world peace, I want to help end world hunger through the use of technology, such as agricultural drones, floating greenhouses, saltwater greenhouses, hydroponics, vertical farming, cloud seeding. I want to help end world thirst. I'm spot cryptocurrency that's worth about $100. And one of the things that we do is we build wells and water towers in developing nations for the benefit of the less fortunate. Additionally, advocate for the LifeStar program, and most importantly, desalination technology, where we pump earth seawater onto land drinkable. If you are a reply guy, Web3 marketer, if you are a reader or a shiller, and you want a free mentor, coach, and friend, send me a follow. I will follow you back. Send me a DM. I will respond. I know that I'm here to support you both personally and professionally. I'm here to be a positive person in your lives. I'm here to have an optimistic future. And most importantly, I want to give hope. And with that, I sincerely appreciate the opportunity to share. Bingo.
My guy, the follow, I just had my sponsors for this morning shirt. Dedicating all the human brushes this year. Exclusive sales for most times. So, I'm co-responsible for the month of Stephen will be raising of your parents. Please love raising junior grades and we will try to remember of Stanley Wilson Slide on the rough. World Commission of the Yard Site of Dr. Wolf Slide Site will follow then the person on the rough. Newton and that. And Ben Adler. However, bottle of modified Ben Moreno sponsors for today. Carry Applebaum, member of the law. Allow to be so successful. All of us. That's what us today. That is successful. Really doesn't go back. Today we are picking up from on the base 63B, and we are picking up 2, 4, 6, 7 ones up from the bottom. This is a not to love that. So again, we have not Ula, our parties, just every year, but I'm the back. And here, but I'm sitting with them in university. He's going to survive. He has the following question. But this is the fascinating so this for the INS what is the halacha? If I use a Jew to smash barrels of INS, right? So if your evidence comes over to event, I'm going to pay you $50 an hour. Do me a favor, smash these barrels of INS. Mahu, what is the halacha? Is the Jew allowed to receive and to accept the wages from this law? In yesterday's class, we were doing the concept of funds or income that is generated from what may or may not be permitted activity or dealing with items that themselves may be usher loss. Here, the Akum is asking me to do something with Nessa, but he's asking me he's going to take me for it. I am allowed to keep those proceeds. Gemara says, no. What's that about me and them keeping the lots of the Puma also? This is very interesting. On one hand, I want the existence of the INS. Now, why do I want the existence of the INS? The barrels are great on their own. The opportunity to break when I lose the higher so one interesting enough, I want the existence of the INS. Because I want it, therefore, again, maybe that makes sense. We should actually see that. Near me, no, 3 lines after the bottom of the machine. The Israel notes that the Jew actually wants the existing barrels. So when we start with Akshamay land, I don't know how Ruben doesn't want them on their own. Actually, it's got to remove the Tosmaster. So do we say that since the Jew actually wants, and this is interesting to think about, he actually wants the Yannessach to remain in existence. I don't want it to break down. So therefore, maybe that's considered to be proceeds from sex, and therefore, again, it's awesome. Oh, yeah, well, they just rush out of them. What are you talking about? The destruction of the IMS, destruction of all the job. This is a good thing. This is in existence, but again, ultimately, to describe all the Zara is a good thing, and therefore, the proceeds, ultimately, again, should be committed. Fascinating challenge. Oh, no, no. The Nachman says, Yishvar the Torah of Yochai. The Nachman says, no, take the job, take the job, you need to go to root out people, root out a good thing, take the money. Let's say, again, an apple cleanse the line, right? Kilayim is forbidden mixtures of wheat, we had said wheat, and let's say, for example, wheat and grapevines. That's the carbohydrate, forbidden mixture. So if an ogre planting Kilayim, I Jew can't go ahead and assist in the planting. Ogre really like home, you know, removing weeds, seed covering with dirt. Do not of son of Dalit, 64 about ogre immobility. What can I do? I can uproot, right? I can uproot Kilayim. I am allowed to do. Look at Rashi about ogre. Lafag of the road to the Kumashli. Let's say Akum hires and Yanis Wilbur. Do me a favor, I planted Kilayim. Now, again, the Akum needs to plant Kilayim Iran. So I say again, he asks me to uproot it. I am allowed to do that even though I'm going to get paid for working with Kilayim, right? And I want the existence of the Kilayim because if the Kilayim is not uprooted, I lose out on my parnasa. So the Gemara says, here from here, this is to support with Nachman. Nachman says you are allowed to go ahead and benefit financially from a forbidden when that benefit results in the destruction item, even though you by definition want the continued existence of the prohibited item, because you want to be the one who destroys it, since you get paid for it, it's supposed to be destroyed on its own. So my son in count 64a. So Zula Haman. Here's the thing. So yes, you do. So you keep the Amar and the kind of this line of very interesting. You keep a whole in general. Not only is their prohibition to go and facilitate growth, but you can't even do anything at the same time. For example, actually points out that we hear that let's say someone is trying to be line, right? After the line, and the other has to put up a fence on the line. And the Akiva says, also, why? Because we acted putting up a fence by definition is part of the system we live. Putting up the fence has nothing to actually itself. Nevertheless, it is going to very good. I'm not facing the reading. The fact that it's covering the seeds with dirt, so I'm not facing the fact that it's lying. Look at you get my perspective again. That's going to come up because there you're directly participating in the flagging. The Akiva says, "Tiny." And the Akiva says,
"Yo, welcome. What up, wisdom?"
For example, put up Quranic Kilayim. That's really big as well.
Wisdom.
Do not plant Kilayim in the field.
Yo, big dog. How you, big man?
How do I know that I'm not even allowed to do something?
Wisdom, what's up?
The actual stuff, like even like putting up the fence. Lomar, low Kilayim. I suppose it's interesting. Here, the Gemara is making some.
I see you.
Play on word. I love a play on word. And the Gemara is actually kind of slicing the past like low Kilayim.
Wisdom. Can you hear me, big man?
Again, enables the existence of Kilayim, even if it's not directly involved with the actual plant itself.
Excellent.
That sustains it.
All right, you wanted to chat. What's up?
Gemara says, ultimately, interestingly enough, even according to Bernard, the same that sustains decline. What about if somebody's going to uproot decline? So the Pashto says like that is going to be totally interesting. Umar says, necessarily, no, it doesn't be that being a ready, rather common in this. Rabbanon, Rabbanon might be the open human nature. Rabbanon, this is Rabbanon. Rabbanon only can be a people. Rabbanon can with plans is a plan or actively reducing that facilitates the growth of itself. Some type of like supporting the fence is motor. So if a fence is motor, you get paid for that, then certainly you're getting you get paid for uprooting yourself. So that's not going to be which the Gemara says, Hachamas, you know, where ultimately, again, I am uprooting the Kalayan free. Yaakov asked me to do it, and I'm doing it. So what's the problem? Watch this. I'm doing the Amar, reaching Lahem, not necessary. Ultimately, that is the opinion. And Allah Almighty, and you are not allowed to make like the actual hadith in the beginning of the
What up, big dog?
It says, don't you understand? You can't work free.
Please.
You can't do something for alcohol for free. Even if the free favors destruction of a whole. So which the Gemara says, Yehuda, the Akiva, La. Now, the fact that you're saying this stuff on Yehuda, something to be Akiva. Does not be permitted. Yehuda also speaking on the scene. Tifla shopping. Mercy, no. Look at Yehuda. Yehuda says it's true. You can't do a favor, so you give us free gift. You can't do a favor for another. But to do something to Abu Dhabi, that's absolutely permitted. That's a good thing. I have numerous of Rabbi Kiva Nami. I thought that's Rabbi Kiva. I'm not going to look at. When you say Tifla shopping, you say something to Rabbi Kiva. Even going to Rabbi Kiva.
What up, wisdom?
You know, approach, the prohibition of Kelayim. They're not only can't plant it, not only can't actual planting itself, but you can put up a fence to stain it. Even if people would agree to uproot
How can I help you?
up is certainty. Everything is absolutely permitted. You can get
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there is nothing new to this channel. So I was wondering this.
This is like the Talmudic equivalent of like a,
What did you want to do?
you know, Sulomi, you know,
What you know about this
there's
religion?
nothing more to discuss. It's very interesting. So then, now let's go.
Oh, certainly.
So, how did you
Um,
start?
Just for a moment. I'll send it to you in a message.
Battles of Dionysus. Yes, he wants to hide in me and Jordan breaks the game, campaigning 50 battle. Great. So I have to do it or not. So remember, on one hand, you could say no, because therefore they want to continue the existence of the United States from the whole result. You have the heaven and the God. But nothing said, do it and cover Allah. Cause the destruction of a Zara, that matter is prohibited. I don't, even though, yes, I do want to continue the existence of the INS. I want to break our I want to break it. I don't want to put it on the phone. I want to complete it. But nevertheless, I am permitted to go ahead and do these activities to get food for them and keep the proceeds because the destruction of people, destruction of Zoro, prohibition ultimately is a good thing. And nothing says you get paid. Incredible. I must say there is really such an interesting idea because it's kind of like part of Western society. Our mindset is live and let live, and that is as members of society, just the general function, living in a society. We should approach the thinking function. Yes, you know, it's not about the reason to be used the world is using that. Nor is it the place to stand in judgment of everyone else's lifestyle choices or everything else. Live and let live. To a certain degree, that has to be our approach to society. On the other hand, it's also teaching us this idea that evil shouldn't be allowed to take root within our world. And when there's something that is evil, when there's evil, it has to be broken. When there's something that is evil, it has to be meshed. It has to be destroyed. Because if you let evil take root, then it spreads and unfortunately becomes the norm. And sometimes then evil ultimately again becomes incredibly good. And that's why I have to use this discussion of yes, destroy the INS and trouble Allah bring the world is a rough. That is rough. It's not easy. It's not easy. And it's fraught with incredible challenges. We see this whole think about it's such an incredible thing. If you think about what the nation of Israel is doing out before. And somehow you would think that like the world is lying up false, it's doing the world's dirty.
Every meal's a feast. Thank you so much for the opportunity. First and foremost, I've got to follow as many people in this space as possible. I'd appreciate it if you could follow me back. I follow everyone back, so if you shoot me a follow, I will ensure to return the favor. I'm Rabbi Rothschild. If you don't know who I am, you will. I stream my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for world peace. I've been doing so for more than 4 years. My streams go back to the pandemic. We've seen the death of a queen, the birth of AI, the coronation of a king, and a real-life Truman Show, a real-life Big Brother. This is a timeline and a capsule of human achievement. In the 90s, Bill Gates coined the phrase, content is king, and I'm making it true today. I'm king of the internet. This is the biggest event in global history, and here's why. In 2018, the Economist magazine stated that data had overtaken petroleum as Earth's #1 resource. And I have more data archived on the internet than any person ever, which is making me very influential. I'm going viral. And when I do, I want to make you, your friends, your family, all financially independent if you're not already. I want to ensure that you have generational wealth. If you don't, you to be able to start charities and philanthropic organizations of your own. I'm unlike any influencer you're ever going to meet. I'm not live on one YouTube stream nor two YouTube streams. I'm on 20 simultaneous YouTube streams 24 hours a day. You can view my life in 360 degrees. I even have a camera. If you want to view these YouTube streams, they're available in the link in bio. Additionally, you'll find the link in my pinned post. You'll also find in my pinned post a link to my link tree. I look at my link tree. Nobody dares you to look at their link tree, but I do because I have social media than any person ever. I have more content than any person ever. You'll also find a link to my Discord, discord.me/rabbi. We have over 2,700 people in the community and continue to grow each day. In addition, in addition to Shabbat Shalom, in addition to live streaming my life and wanting to make you all extremely wealthy, I want you to know that I want to help end world hunger through the use of just agricultural drones, floating greenhouses, saltwater greenhouses, hydroponics, vertical farming, cloud seeding. I want to help world thirst. I'm sponsoring cryptocurrency that's worth about $100 million. And one of the things that we do is we build wells and wires in developing nations for the benefit of the less fortunate. Additionally, I'm an advocate for the Lifestyle program and most importantly, nation technology, where we pump Earth seawater on to land and make it drinkable. If you are a reply, if you're a Web3 marketer, if you're a rater or a shiller, and you want a free mentor, coach, and friend, send me a follow. I'll ensure to follow you back. Send me I will respond. I want you all to know that I'm here to support you both personally and professionally. Positive person in your lives. I'm here to have an optimistic view on the future, and most importantly, I want to give people hope. And with that, I sincerely appreciate the opportunity to share.
Thank you, Rabbi Ashok, sir. Nice to have you. I was Rabbi Rothschild, really speaking, guys. I really don't get most I don't know. Where says the sunshine not sure what we go from, but I went up on $1,000. So what happened? So went and sold his item. Brought me the proceeds from the sale, or Yainess facilities. I went ahead and I rented $1,000. He sold his Yain, but he brought me the proceeds of the sale. What's that? Motor, ultimately, I managed motor. Interesting. The Gemara says, however, watch this. About at the end of what is the Yain Nesek. I only got the proceeds. I'm going to sell my Yain Nesek and deduct the proceeds. In that case, it's awesome. Interesting. Case number one, I lent after the $1,000. Case number one, he goes off, sells his Yain Nesek. I have no idea what he's doing.
Oh, absolutely. YouTube streams. I'm live on multiple Rumbles. I'm live on multiple Twitch. I'm live on an X Space myself. And believe it or not, I have been live streaming an X Space 24/7. Every 24 hours, I have to end and restart it since last February. So I am closing in on 1 year of not just X Spaces, but video X Spaces using an device. Additionally, I'm live on Pump Fun, and I'm live in about 15 side Discord. That's off the top of my head, but there are other platforms on which I am. I have 33 independent devices. No, if I devices of Android devices, basically I use PC. I certainly use Windows computers. I use Apple computers. If it is available, certainly Chromebooks and Linux. So I have a little bit of everything depending on what the platforms require.
I want to continue the existence of the INS because
what was the question? What was my internet?
Why should it be awesome? But now, you have two brothers. Converted, and what if they're working brothers? One converted and one converted. So brother Ger, brother Archer. So what happened? Their father died. Their father died. Their father died. They inherit their father. So they want to split the estate.
Actually, smoking is quite within some Jewish communities, and certainly drinking, but I mean that we have our share of smokers as well.
So brother Ger, you take all the idolatry stuff. You take all the money and potatoes. If you do that, then you should not. That's committed. However, in the Shabbat, it's just like the obviously, once that happens, there's no more recourse. Right? But the love once it's
yeah, most certainly. So you can actually live streaming right now. You can see me speaking live. There is an insert embedded video. So if you actually want to watch me visually do this, you can. And really, it's just about having the different devices I don't have one supercomputer that runs all of my cameras. I have devices, so um, I have like 6 different PCs, and I have another half dozen or so Chromebooks, and then I have quite a few different Amazon Fires that allow me to be in different Discords, and then I have another dozen Android devices that allow me to be live streaming, and then I have iOS devices that I use certainly for being live on X Spaces, also and some other Discords, and then that's what I'm currently using. So basically, the individualization of each platform on my devices certainly be in a lot of places. But another key point is multi-streaming. I'm the king of multi-streaming. So what do I mean by multi-streaming? I use one device to be able to multi-stream or stream simultaneously on different platforms. So there are a few different services, and I do all of this for free. I don't pay any premium because it would just be extremely expensive to do this on 33 different devices. So what I do, I use Rumble. If you know what Rumble is, they have a really great part of their platform known as Rumble Studio that allows you to take your RTMP key. This is techno babble for your time messaging protocol key, basically the thing that allows you to stream on different platforms and to be able to plug that in. And also they have native functionality, YouTube, X, Twitch, and quite a couple of other of the services. So I'm able each of my to be able to multi-stream on anywhere up to a dozen different platforms. In addition to some that you may have never heard of, like Africa TV, which sounds like it'd be really big in Africa, but it's not. It's really big in South Korea, and like Nemo TV and things like not just you, but you now, which is another one. Some of these smaller platforms allows you to multi shows, and I also use another service that I use StreamYard. If some of you are familiar with that, which allows for some free multi-streaming. So I basically maximize the amount of platforms on which you can be streaming by using a strategy known as multi-streaming. So for some devices, especially if it's like an older Android device, it's not going to be able to support all of the opportunities that may come with multi-streaming just due to RAM usage and such. However, if it's a computer or a Chromebook or something like that, usually it does, and that allows me to be in so many places at once. People say that I'm and I really do my best to be.
It's difficult for people to engage in self-sacrifice. Money is necessary.
To be here, I've needed that question.
As long as you have your health, and you can pay your bills. And people should not stand up to religious challenges. The choice between religion and or afraid that yes,
Every single day, fall off my back like water off a duck, and don't let it get to me. I do my best to kill them with kindness, so to speak. That's the best remedy that I have for any kind of hatred or threats that I get online. But 99 of all people who I encounter online are very positive towards what I do, and I recognize that you can't win anybody, and that's okay. I do my best to not give them any ammunition against me and to ensure everything we have the understanding that maybe we don't align either religiously or perhaps philosophically or whatever it is. that if anything, they're living on the same planet that I am, and hopefully we can do our best to treat each other with mutual respect and everybody that way.
Sitting together. Another question. Can a get go ahead and we'll say before we go on. He said, "Get the chazal will make all that." Do you understand the tremendous mistakes? How local and structured sometimes you've got a very sweet view about the stuff who's very interesting aside. So you can levy some punishment or anything. That's a good definition. The devotion wants our success and you want our success. Chazal want our success more than we want our success. Yeah. To put us on a path to success, not to slap us down when we go and we make a mistake. But again, understood what we need to be successful. That's not understood what we need to be successful. And when we relax the standards to be successful, they do it. You got it. They do it. When success is accomplished through relaxing of standards, no greater advocate than that's in this world than the next world. In this world, constantly aiming for success. Okay, no question. How do you guys talk about it? Not sure. What's the very Can a Ger Tosha? Can a Ger Tosha go ahead and abolish or negate idolatry? Remember again, an akil has the ability to negate his idolatry, thereby decommissioning it as a theological statement. Rashi points out here at the top of the graph, Ger Tosha, Eino Ovid, ultimately again, his worship idolatry. But again, he's like him in everything else, except he doesn't worship idolatry. No, that's it. It's a pretty big thing, right? He believes in Hakadosh Baruch Hu. He believes in God. He doesn't worship idolatry, but in every other respect, he's a non-Jew. So he has the ability to commission idolatry, to make idolatry. Gemara says, on one hand, the Palach Mevad, we say only one who worships idolatry can decommission idolatry. Or maybe not. Or we say like this: anyone who bar mineh, if you're in the parsha of an apple, you can go ahead and decommission avodah zarah. And this guy is in the parsha. He's not Jewish. He's not Jewish. So because he's not Jewish, he's in the parsha of an apple. So because of that, even though Baruch Hashem, he himself doesn't worship idolatry, he has the koach to go ahead and negate it. You must. I'm going to rule up now. And so I'm going to also not this Stavro, the Palach Battle Glow Palach. Nachman says, well, only someone who worships it can negate it. But someone who doesn't worship idolatry cannot negate it. Therefore, doesn't have the ability to negate idolatry. So mercy. This one second. We saw Shabbat Sabbath. So went ahead and found idolatry in the marketplace. Found idolatry in the marketplace. What's that level? Actual boss of the world. So let's say, I remember again. So let's say, listen to this case. I'm walking in the sugar marketplace. I see a gold item sitting there on the ground. If I lift it up, that's coming out, right? Because then I've acquired it. And by a Jew, essentially, you can't be commissioned. So what do I do? I should have so before I pick it up, I can call over an apple. Remember, you also attack it. Call over an apple and see if the apple need you to negate this idolatry, decommission it. right? Theological decommission. Go ahead and engage in theological decommissioning of this world, and then it becomes permitted. However, again, in Shabbat but again, if I take it out, or if I take possession of it, I think it's
I know, baby. You know we can. The Lord will clean essence in probably 7 days.
What does it mean? What does it mean that Akum can decommit whether he worships it or doesn't worship? If you want to both it, then we already said that. We just said before that an Akum has the ability to theologically decommission his Avodah Zarah and the Avodah Zarah of his friend. And a lot of the Ovid Kohanim, a lot of the Ovid Kohanim, right? Ultimately, again, of the means an actual Akum. My shit of the what does it mean? A non-worshipper? Ger Toshav. Oh. So who is able to go ahead and decommission both an actual Akum and a Ger Toshav? Shmana, Ger Toshav, Nanubaka. What do you see from here? That a Ger Toshav has the ability to be Mabako, theologically decommission Avodah Zarah. Which Gemara says, no. The Ofa, not true. Rather, it could very well say you could decommission the actual idol worship of itself. An apple. I knew Shalom B'Shachad. We already said that. Then the price is redundant because you already said Akum could go ahead and decommission his Avodah Zarah and his friend. The Gemara says, Reisha, listen to this. Two different cases. Reisha, Zeh. Reisha is teaching you like this. You have two options. Both worship my idol and his friend's idol. An Akum can negate his idol, and an Akum can negate his own idolatry. Good. Number two, an Akum can negate his. So the Gemara says,
isn't she wonderful? Isn't it fun? True love could be lovely. Isn't she worthy? Join the angels sing. Oh, I'm so happy. We have been having what God has done to all of me.
Some say, I guess any Gentile. What is the definition of the